So apparently J.K. Rowling decided not to make a stand when it came to Johnny Depp and Fantastic Beasts 3. Now, she decided to stand silent as Warner Brothers pushed the man out, and that irritates me to no end. So hey there. So today, you and I, we are returning to that wonderful world of Johnny Depp coverage, and I have to say, J.K. Rowling, that ThatUmbrellaGuy, he looked at the list, he checked it twice, and he's probably going to send you some freaking coal for Christmas. Now, all joking aside, stuff like this, it annoys me to no end, because it's fair weather activism. And we know that J.K. Rowling has stirred up so much controversy these days that, this is probably more of a reflection of her than it is of Johnny Depp. In fact, if you look at her statements in the past, this is from the Crimes of Grindelwald, this is what she had to say back when. Based on her understanding to the circumstances, the filmmakers and I are not only comfortable sticking with our original casting, but genuinely happy to have Johnny Depp playing a major character in the movies. I loved writing the first two screenplays, and I can't wait for fans to see the Crimes of Grindelwald. I accept that there will be those who are not satisfied with our choice of actor in the title role. However, conscience isn't governable by committee. Within the fictional world and outside it, we all have to do what we believe to be the right thing. Now, at the time, I thought this was really commendable, to the point that I changed my mind about J.K. Rowling, thinking, she's standing with her quote-unquote friend, and she's demanding an accounting. She said all of this, too, when people were trying to cancel Johnny Depp by the tens of thousands. Conscience isn't governable by committee. So when this newest iteration of controversy rolled around, and Johnny Depp told us what happened on Fantastic Beasts 3, which I'll review in just a moment to make sure everybody knows that, I blamed many a party out there. I blamed Warner Brothers, I blamed A.H., I blamed other actors as well. But the one person I didn't think to place blame on would be J.K. Rowling. I mean, after all, she stood up with Fantastic Beasts 2. How could she not do this with Fantastic Beasts 3? Let me read this to you, by the way, and think about what she is not sounding off about here, really what she rubber stamped. In the light of recent events, I would like to make the following short statement. Firstly, I'd like to thank everybody who has gifted me with their support and loyalty. I have been humbled and moved by your many messages of love and concern, particularly over the last few days. Secondly, and this is the very important part here, I wish to let you know that I've been asked to resign by Warner Brothers for my role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, and I respected and agreed to that request. Finally, I wish to say this. The surreal judgment of the courts in the UK will not change my fight to tell the truth, and I confirm that I plan to appeal. My resolve remains strong, and I intend to prove that the allegations against me are false. My life and career will not be defined by this moment in time. Thank you for reading. Sincerely, Johnny Depp. Now, multiple articles, they bring up this reaction too, or a lack thereof, saying, in the past she actually did something, but right now, she's not doing anything at all. But with years gone by, and Johnny Depp recently facing a loss in the UK courts, Warner Brothers ultimately decided to part way with a frequent Tim Burton collaborator. J.K. Rowling reportedly didn't make a stand when it came to this casting shakeup, despite her writing the script for Fantastic Beasts 3. Now, just to make this clear, this is not saying that J.K. Rowling opted to sidestep this, not saying anything. This is saying that J.K. Rowling decided to speak volumes by not saying anything at all. J.K. Rowling reportedly didn't make a stand. She didn't stand with Johnny Depp. So what changed between Fantastic Beasts 2 and Fantastic Beasts 3? In my opinion, what you're seeing is a reaction to controversy. And it's not Johnny Depp's controversy, it's J.K. Rowling's controversy, because she has been dividing audiences far and wide. See, when it came to just us versus justice, apparently conscience is governable by committee. Interesting how things change, no? Now, the reason that this reeks of betrayal and armchair activism and throwing someone under the bus is because there were dozens and dozens of articles that read just like this. And one thing I know for certain about J.K. Rowling, you can see proof of this on Twitter, just go check out her timeline, is that she will find her name in articles. She will read what's said there, so she knows what the mainstream was saying. This stuff, it didn't bother her back when. When the Sun threw her name in, she decided to take a stand. But this time, she decided to kowtow to pressure. Here you have the Times, for example, saying, Johnny Depp verdict. J.K. Rowling could decide Hollywood star's fate. All she had to do was stand up and demand a reckoning. But of course, with all of that stuff out there, with all of that proof, she decided to back away. Now, a fascinating thing that I find in this betrayal is it doesn't work out for J.K. Rowling. In fact, I think it works quite the opposite, because what you have now is J.K. Rowling isolated with people that want to get rid of her. If you look at the names in this headline, for example, talking about the controversy that she's been courting recently, look at who's standing against her. You have Eddie Redmayne. Who is Eddie Redmayne? Oh, he's only the title person in this movie. Somebody that wants to throw her out has been speaking out against her. But hey, you know that guy? I guess he's A-okay. You also have Daniel Radcliffe. You know, somebody that threw Johnny Depp under the bus? I have a beautiful video I want to do about that, by the way. Ooh, you're going to love it. Yeah, he decides he's going to throw J.K. Rowling under the bus, too. Basically, the only person that wouldn't throw her under the bus, the only person that hasn't betrayed her, yeah, that person, she decides that she's not going to stand up for, you know, because him out, it's going to work out for her totally. Again, throwing yourself under the bus, well, you only have yourself to blame. Now, a fascinating aspect of J.K. Rowling's self-ownage is that unlike Fantastic Beasts 2, where she decided to stand up, tens of thousands of people were trying to cancel him then, you have hundreds of thousands of people that have the guy's back. They want him restated, and they want the other party that tried to cancel him, they want that person out. Why? Because they know who the aggrieved party is, and yeah, they would have his back, and they would have her back too. In fact, if you look at the newest numbers here, this is the Change.org petition everybody's seen, the Remove AH from, you have 1.223 million people and counting signed that. That is an absolutely insane number. On the other hand, too, people talking about reinstatement, they almost have 150,000 signatures. This, it hasn't been up that long either, and that, like I said, says plenty. In fact, I would say that ultimately flies in the face of the article that I showed you previously, because it isn't J.K. Rowling that's going to end up deciding Johnny Depp's fate. No, it's the people out there that are backing him. I mean, if he can't get justice, if he can't get Hollywood in his court, you know who he does have? He has tens of millions of people out there, tens of millions of vocal protesters, and those people, they've learned to speak in unison. In fact, I would argue that the betrayal of Johnny Depp, it was also a betrayal of self, because right now, J.K. Rowling, she absolutely 100% needs Johnny Depp to go out and galvanize consumers. In fact, she needs help probably more than she's ever needed help before, or at least in a long while, and she doesn't really recognize that. I mean, if you look at Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in 2016, this was an undisputed hit. You have a $180 million budget, and the worldwide box office return, yeah, that's actually very good. You have $812,091,803, plus you add on domestic video sales of $70,520,000 and change. Now, when you turn to that second iteration, what you notice is a fall off, and an extreme one at that. You have an increased budget of $200 million, but you have a worldwide box office that decreases over $150 million to $651 million in change, and you have a fall off for domestic videos of almost $30 million going to $41 million in change. Now, if you look at the successes of this movie, they were not born on storytelling. Oh no, not at all. It was about curiosity about Johnny Depp. In spite of any problems, in spite of controversy, people, they wanted to turn out and see him. Now you fast forward to Fantastic Fantastic Beasts 3, that proverbial pendulum, it is swung as far as the consumer mindset. You see tens of millions of people standing with that man. If the company and the writer would have stood with him too, you would have been talking about a fantastic success. But instead of that, you have betrayals on every level. That silence is a betrayal. You have a company that lets him go. That's a betrayal. And with a debt load of $152 billion, yeah, when you end up betraying people and you end up self-owning and failing, whose fault is that? I think it's going to be their own. So congratulations, J.K. Rowling. You stood with people that would cancel you when there were millions of people out there that would have had your back, simply because whatever failing that you had, you stood up and you had someone's back too. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. Ooh, it irritates me, but at the same time, I know Johnny Depp got paid. I know he'll end up rebounding. I mean, I know people can come back from this, but still, it's crazy. But you tell me what you think. Also, I want to thank you for being here and showing up. You empower these endeavors. If you want to help out the channel too, there are links in the description. And as always, thank you